Hi. Um, I decided I wanted to show you guys one of the science experiments we would have done if we were in school right now. So we are currently doing the light unit in science, and I'm going to show you guys how to make something called a pinhole camera. Now, don't get too excited. It's not an actual camera, but it is a special looking device that will do something pretty cool if you make it. I'm not going to tell you exactly what it does because I'm going to let that be a surprise. But I will show you how we make it. So, you are going to need a few household items. You need a paper towel tube, not a toilet paper tube, okay? And you're going to need a ruler. Now, my ruler has inches and centimeters. If you only have centimeters, that's fine. I'll tell you how to do that as well. So we also need some tinfoil, some tape. If you have a dark tape, that'll work best, but if you don't, that's fine too. Scissors, some kind of like paper clip I have here. I kind of made it a little pointy, or you could use a needle if you have a sewing needle around. And this is the hardest thing to find. I have some tracing paper. If you don't have tracing paper, wax paper will work as well. And if you have parchment paper, it will work, but not as well. So wax paper or tracing paper will work the best. All right, so you're going to take your paper towel tube and you're going to take the end of your ruler and put it to one end of your paper towel tube, and you're going to mark off 2 inches. So if you only have centimeters on your ruler, you're going to mark off 5 centimeters. So let me just show you there, 2 inches, okay? So that's where you're marking off. Now, with your scissors, you're going to cut off that end that you just marked. Now, the thing is, you can't cut it like this because you're going to need to save that piece for after. So you have to cut across. So it's going to flatten out as you cut, but it will bounce back into shape. Okay, so bounce that back into shape. And we have our little small piece as well. We're going to put that aside. Now, the next step is to take your tracing paper or wax paper, and you're going to put that on top of the tube. Oh, I just realized 2 more things we need. 2 rubber bands. If you don't have rubber bands, you can use tape. I'm going to see if I have some rubber bands here. I have some tape. One rubber band. All right, I found 1 rubber band and some tape, so I'm going to use rubber band for the first part. All right, let's try this again. You're going to take your tracing paper or your parchment paper or your wax paper, and you're going to put your rubber band around that to hold it in place. Okay, so you should have the end, should have a nice flat surface, and you're just holding it in place with either some tape or a rubber band. Now, step number 2. You're going to take your smaller piece and you're going to lay it flat on top of where you just cut it off. And this is why we want some dark tape. You're going to tape around that so that there's no light coming through around the edge. If you only have clear tape, that's fine too, because after you can wrap it with some paper and it'll make sure no light gets in. All right, so I'm using black electrical tape. And it's not overly sticky, so it can be a little tricky to get it to hold. So I'm going to take a few small pieces first, and those screws are just going to hold it steady in place, and then I'll wrap it around. Okay, so I'm going to take a piece and I'm going to just tape that straight up and down on one side and straight up and down on the other side, just to hold it there for me. And now I'm going to wrap the tape around it. Really seal off all the light that might be coming in. Okay, there we go. So now you can see that I have my tracing paper on the ends when we had it cut off, and then we reattached this end with some black tape. Okay, so this end is still open. That's where the tinfoil comes in. You're going to take the shiny side of your tinfoil, okay, the side that reflects more light, and you're going to face that towards the tube, down, okay? I'm holding it like this, so I'm facing it down. Now you want to make sure that it's nice and flat on the surface. And since I don't have a rubber band, I'm just going to tape this down. Okay, we're almost done. Now, the last thing we have to do is take our little pointy tool. So I'm using a paper clip, but you could use a sewing needle, or you might have a compass from a math set. And you're just going to poke a very small hole in the center of your tinfoil. Don't make it too big. So that's why you shouldn't use a pen or a pencil. It's going to get too big. I made that mistake earlier when I was trying this out myself. Now, the fun part, using it to find out what exactly does it do. So the easiest way to do that is to use a window. So let's see. Let's stay there. Okay. So I'm going to just take some black tape to, if I can get it off the roll. Here we go. And I'm just going to make a little design on the window. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to make the letter T on my window. And I'll just show you what that looks like. Okay, there's the letter T on my window. Now, you're going to look through the brown end, or whatever color tube you have. You're going to look through the brown end at your window at the design you made. So it won't work as well inside your house unless you're looking towards a window. You need a lot of light for this to work. But if you do figure out what this does, you make it and you figure it out, comment below and tell me what you see. Have fun.